Welcome to the Twisted Nightmare Chronicles, your gateway to the eerie, the unexplained, and the spine-chilling. Dive into a world of terrifying tales and mysterious encounters that will leave you questioning reality. Our latest story, The Inheritance. There are some things that should never be inherited. Some things that hold more than just memories. My grandmother's doll collection was one of them. I thought they were just dolls, until I heard them whisper. This is a story of something unnatural, something that never wanted to be forgotten. I never wanted grandmother's doll collection. A haunted horror story. Subscribe to the Twisted Nightmares Chronicles for more terrifying tales, if you dare. I never wanted grandmother's doll collection. The antique porcelain faces had always unsettled me, even as a child. Their vacant glass eyes seemed to follow me around the room, their frozen smiles hinting at something unnatural lurking beneath the glossy paint. But here I was, 30 years old, hauling boxes of Victorian-era dolls into my apartment because no one else in the family would take them. The collection wasn't particularly valuable, just old and well-preserved. Grandmother had kept them pristine in their glass cabinet for decades, dusting them weekly until arthritis claimed her hands. Now, 3 months after her funeral, they were mine. I decided to store them in my spare room, which I used as a home office. The dolls could stay boxed up until I figured out what to do with them. But as I stacked the last box, one caught my eye. A small figure with chocolate brown curls and a cream-colored dress that had yellowed with age. Something about it felt unsettlingly familiar, though I couldn't place why. That night, I worked late on my laptop. The spare room door cracked open behind me. Around 2 a.m., I heard it. A soft scraping sound like porcelain sliding against cardboard. I dismissed it as the house settling. But then came the whisper. "Come play with me." The voice was barely audible, a child's sing-song tone that made my skin crawl. I froze, fingers hovering over my keyboard. The rational part of my brain told me it was my imagination, fueled by too much coffee and too little sleep. But then, I heard it again. "I've missed you." Slowly, I turned in my chair. The brown-haired doll sat upright in its open box, when I distinctly remembered leaving it lying down. Its head was tilted slightly to the left, glass eyes reflecting the dim light from my laptop screen. My throat went dry. The doll's painted lips seemed different somehow, curved up at the corners where they had been straight before. As I stared, its small hand twitched. A forgotten memory surfaced. Summer visits to grandmother's house, age 5 or 6. This same doll appearing in different places when no one was looking. Grandmother's dismissive laugh when I told her it moved on its own. The night I woke to find it sitting on my chest, its cold porcelain hand pressed against my cheek. I had blocked it all out. The doll's head turned toward me with a sound like grinding teeth. Its glass eyes blinked. Once, twice. The painted smile widened, revealing tiny, perfect teeth that hadn't been there before. "You grew up," it whispered, "but I've been waiting." I shoved my chair back so hard it toppled over. My heart hammered as I stumbled to my feet. The air in the room had turned icy. The walls seemed to close in, shadows stretching unnaturally long. Then, a sudden burst of laughter, high-pitched, childlike, but layered, as if multiple voices spoke at once. The lights flickered, the boxes around the room rattled. Then, with a deafening crash, every single box toppled over at once, spilling dolls onto the floor. Their porcelain hands and feet clattered against the hardwood like brittle bones. And then, as if responding to some silent command, they all turned their heads toward me in unison. I bolted. My laptop, my work, everything. I left it all behind. I ran straight to my car, heart pounding so violently I thought I might pass out. I checked into a hotel that night and refused to return alone. The next morning, I called a junk removal service. When they arrived, I stood outside, unwilling to set foot in that cursed apartment. One of the workers came out pale-faced, muttering about how they'd found all the dolls arranged in a perfect circle in the spare room, facing the center where the brown-haired doll sat. They didn't ask questions. Neither did I. But as they loaded the last box onto the truck, one of the workers stopped, frowning. "Hey," he said, "you hear that?" I didn't want to, but I did. A faint giggle. The same whispering voice from the night before. "You can't throw me away." I nearly collapsed. They took the boxes. I moved out a week later, burned all my furniture, changed my phone number. But sometimes, on quiet nights, I still hear that whispered invitation to play. And sometimes, in the corner of my eye, I catch a glimpse of chocolate brown curls disappearing around a corner. Grandmother's doll collection was donated to a local antique shop. I drive by occasionally, just to make sure it's still there. But last week, I noticed a sold tag on the brown-haired doll in the window display. I wonder which child it's waiting for now. Some things refuse to be forgotten. Some things refuse to be left behind. But tell me, if you found this doll in your home tonight, would you keep it? If you enjoyed this nightmare, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, so you never miss what lurks in the darkness.